March 23rd, 2:35 p.m. District Court. Courtroom. Number 3. Oh, it's number 3 again. I don't know. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready? Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is, it's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? Looks like something unexpected just happened to him. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impax's suicide note. Oh. Is that actually going to turn out bad for him? Oh. Oh, whose is it? Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. I did not see that coming. Okay. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. It is a fake? Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? Properly, I was not expecting that. That's really just like, what? Whoa. So Pheonix got extremely lucky, like, oh wait, he was right. If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Yuan Kurita. Mr. Kurita? Well, looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. It's that sort of thing of like, yeah, we're accidentally winning now. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so that fact remains unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. Yeah, but that's a massive hole in everything now. This theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Yeah, we can use it. Something seems a little wrong with it. Ooh. Okay, because this is probably throwing me through a loop. This is why I got excited, because it's like, I did not see, that just completely blindsided me, and I love it when games do that. Obviously, because I'm quite excited now. So, right, okay, so we basically need to prove... What? That something like this entire presumption that there's something wrong with it, that Matt didn't know. So basically we need proof that he would know, right? So the only thing I can think of is like, he was surveying them? And inside the figurine it tells him On Guard's horrible misdeeds. Like, yeah, because this is the thing. It depends. Like, when was it written, right? It matches Kurita's handwriting, sure, but when was it written? Because it could have been easily caught on tape that it was written out and then put inside the bear and stuff like that. Because this is the thing, he knew the note was in there. Matt knew the note was in there, that's why he wanted the figurine. But how would he know, or not know? That's the only thing I can think of, is like he would have maybe some little way of knowing. And it's gotta be like the camera at this point, right? Let's go with that. I'm not 100% on that at all, because again, this is probably throwing me just like completely just like blindsided me. Like, what the hell? All right, present evidence. The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. Does it? If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, it's impossible for Mr. Ringard to have not have known it was a fake. Maybe. I wouldn't say 100% that. It was like, he may know that that was the case, or may not know that that was the case. It depends when it was written. That's the bit for me. It really does depend. What is this little item called again? A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but, oh, that's right, a camera. Ah, you kids and your fancy toys nowadays. Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Ringard knew of the existence of this note. Yep. Because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? Yep, that completely makes sense in my head, but it's like, doesn't mean he did or didn't know when it was written, who wrote it, all that type of stuff. It's like, ooh. If that were true, then this means Mr. Ringard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Or he may not have. Yeah. So then the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation suddenly changed in a very dramatic way. It's like, he may... This is the thing, it's that sort of thing of like... Remember, we're trying to only stall here, so it's like, I really hope Edgeworth comes out and points out, it's like, maybe. Not 100%, and we need to pursue that as an idea. Again, we know Matt did it, so... Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Ringard's motive for murder was has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Ringard monitored Mr. Corrida 24 hours a day. Thank you, Edgeworth. This is the point. This is what I was stuck on in my head, very much thinking like, It's like, hey, it's, yeah, I think we get the idea on that. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ringard didn't know of, or way before he started monitoring him. That was what I was thinking. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Oh yes, you should do that, yes. Again, this works for us because we're trying to delay everything. That works perfectly with what we need to happen. Completely fine. Order! Mr. Edgeworth. Looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you are not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ringard's motive through the evidence, then must prove it through another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering. This is not like him at all. Unusual? What sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? Is it the parrot? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the questions of who was it that hired Shelley the killer to commit murder? That's impossible. No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. There's one. But aren't they being chased right now? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Who is this witness? It's... Yes? Go on. Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the Killer. Oh, Mr. the Killer. Wait, Shelley the killer? Is it Moe, you know? You mean the killer? I mean the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright? Yes? Is this alright with you? Do I have a choice here? Can't really do much else to drag this trial out. Yeah, it's sort of like, gotta go with it. The defense has no objections, Your Honor. I wonder if it really is alright to do this. Very well then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? How, though? Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please. Really? Really? Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I'm a professional assassin. I say, what is going on here? Your Honor, can you remain so calm? What is the meaning of this two-way radio? Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. This could be anyone on the other end. This must be what the urgent phone call he got earlier was about. Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself. Oh my god, I'm siding with the judge. Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry. Maya! A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this? The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer. Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it does seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances. So, now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Yuan Kurita, is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Kurita. Gulp! Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream. Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? Oh, there we go. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. Alright. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. See, I'm thinking impressing all of these. As much info as possible, I feel, with this one. It's very much like this, unless there's something really, like, pinpoint. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Wait, what? Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us. While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief. You mean about this trust between his clients and himself, then? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness? Yes, Your Honor. There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix. About my client. There is something I must first state. First, we can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your client's I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means? Sorry. Go on. Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright. It's only because you don't know about Maya's situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. That is why you're testifying in this manner? This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my client can trust me. But couldn't someone stamp you in the back and break your trust? It has never happened before, but if it ever did... Yes? That person wouldn't be my client for very long. Okay. And they would certainly... That's enough. Please, no more. Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway. Okay. So if we could potentially prove that trust has been broken... But... It'll be Matt that's broken the trust. Then we might have something here that can turn the killer against him. It's the reason I'm here today on this witness stand. Seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them. It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Yeah, so it's like... Okay. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? The right? Who gives people the right? To the gentleman who spoke just now, excuse me, but would you care to die? No, I didn't say anything. The judge had better watch himself. It's my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. I want to go and just go back on what we pressed here. I want to go through that again with that knowledge of that idea of like... His client has broken the role that he was given or whatever, you know. So it's like, just go through that with that knowledge. The trust between you and your client. I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. Which they essentially haven't done in this regard, right? These are the roles and duties an assassin and his client are to carry out. So Matt's essentially broken the rules somewhere or another, hasn't he? And if he's broken the rules, anything can happen to him and that's okay, which means you can release Maya. Right? Sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules. A person who frames another is the worst kind of human. Oh, okay. And that's why you feel you can betray this person. I have no trust, relation, with a client who can't understand their assigned role. Just my luck, an assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured? Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic? This case just keeps getting better and better. If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed. Everyone understands your point, I think. Really. In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the reason I am here today on the witness stand. Now then, I do believe it's about time I reveal the name of my client. Don't you agree? What is it? I can't bring myself to ask the client's name. If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will. Witness, what is the name of your client who requested the murderer missed you on corridor? I just had a thought. Is that sort of like, wait. It's just a thought going through my head. I sort of like, wait, when did Matt frame anyone? Like, he never framed it as someone else killing him. It was always meant to be like the killer did it. Matt never did any of that. The Nickel Samurai did, but not. Wait. Wait, is this gonna go wrong as well? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews. It's just like some thought, like, wait. What? Witness? That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews. What? Oh, this is quite a turn up for the books, isn't it? This can't be. On the phone earlier? What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with his court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it. This is outrageous. I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie. It's one of the things where it's like, wait, was it a lie? So it's the sort of thing like, this could easily be the truth, because it's like, she had the card, and maybe she was just lying about the card. Like, maybe she didn't pick it up, maybe she just had it. Maybe... Gotta be careful in my head with how things go now, because it's like, there's two possibilities from this, and I don't know which one's the truth. And it's like, I gotta be careful because of that, just that simple thing of, this is a very, very good case. This is a very good case. Because now it's like, I need to stall for time, but I don't know how to stall for time because both outcomes are possible. Someone's lying, but who, and I'm not entirely sure. But you were the one who summoned this witness. You Shelley the killer. My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard, am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure him his acquittal. Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this. But do we want to win? Is winning right or wrong? I'm not entirely sure anymore. I was so sure it was Matt, and now I'm like, yeah. The prosecution has failed to provide a motive as instead provided the suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself the name of his client. Mr. DeKiller's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all. No. With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent. Whoops. I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please continue your discussion and call me when you have reached a verdict. Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately. What now? With the way this is going, on guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya. Is that sort of thing of like... I'm still leaning towards like the killer's lying, but it's still entirely possible that it may be that. It's like there's like that. I'm like 99% sure that he's lying, but it's like that 1% I'm giggling at. Yeah, but Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying. And on guard, my client. I know he's guilty. Can I live with myself if I win this? Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant? Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me. Listen, everyone, please. That testimony just now. It's all one big lie. Miss Andrews. Suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, is the reason Celeste died. And Yuan's death was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world. That testimony just now, you have to believe me. It was a horrible, horrible lie. But Mr. DeKiller himself has testified. He has named you as his client. No, that's not true. Also, there is quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume. But that's... You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impacts was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead. No, Mr. Wright. You know the truth. Tell them. Tell them the real story. Who the real killer is. Tell them. Please, help me. Yes, I know the truth. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? I believe we have reached the end of this trial. No, we still need to prolong it as well. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions. Crap. I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? It's very much that case of like, we could request the verdict, and everything is alright, right? Yeah, and then Adrian Andrews... This is the thing, we could do this, but Maya would never forgive us. It's that sort of thing of like, is this our only chance? Do we request the trial to continue? Because we kind of have it continue, and then Maya is found, everything's fine, and then we can get Matt completely sentenced for murder. But then it's that also that element of like, what if that's the wrong option? And that little 1% of they may not be lying. That 1%, that just that tiny inkling that made me all giddy, where it's like, they may not be lying, and it may be like, well, Matt wanted all that to happen. It's just the killer had another client and he took care of it in a different way. But I doubt that, but that is still a slight possibility. That maybe everything's been twisted the opposite way from what we know, and we've been tricked by Adrian Andrews herself. you know what I think we're going to do? I think the obvious answer to this question is clear right now. What are we supposed to do? And that is to end this part here, and we'll see you in the next part. Ta-ta for now.